Hello and welcome back to another episode of Baseball HQ. I'm your host Dakota Moyer, along with guest Mr. Casey Fenton, all-around baseball guy, I guess you could say. Nolan couldn't be here with us today. He had some school stuff and other stuff that he had to get done. Olivia and Emma couldn't be with us due to a ministry at their church, so they unfortunately couldn't join us today, but I'm here and Mr. Fenton is here, trying to keep up the consistency with the podcast, trying to keep the streaming and the media rolling. So, how's it going?
Going pretty good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming on. So, we're going to get into our topics. First of all, this came out after the Yankees were eliminated from the World Series. The Yankees shortstop Anthony Volpe has arm surgery to repair a torn labrum, and it came after, and people were alerted about this arm injury after this play on May the 3rd.
Grounded and knocked down by Volpe, but he can't get a hold of it. It'll be a base hit for Morel. Looks like Volpe is hurt.
He's grabbing his shoulder. He's grabbing his left shoulder, and he is staying down.
Crowd holding its breath right now. Looks like he will stay in. Boy, from that moment right there, Jeff, to Anthony still being in the game.
Just an unfortunate situation for Anthony Volpe and the Yankees.
Yeah, truly unfortunate. Just looked like going for a routine ground ball, and on the extension there, probably landed on his shoulder a bit too hard.
Yeah. So, and he might miss some of 2026, and that's not what you really want for the Yankees because he's their starting shortstop. He may not be the best in the game. He may not be Trey Turner, or he may not be Bobby Witt Jr., but he's still a pretty solid shortstop for the Yankees. Combines defense and a little bit of offense, and that's a real blow to the Yankees. I'm sure a lot of you out there have heard of this, but in the Blue Jays and Mariners game, ALCS Game 4, Max Scherzer was the starting pitcher, and he was not coming out of this game without a fight. Max is one of those guys that you kind of let him go how long he wants, when he wants, and scary confrontation between him and the manager. And the manager said, quote, after the game, quote, "I thought he was going to kill me," end quote.
But it's not close.
Max sure doesn't think he's coming out there to say you get one more hitter.
And he was right. Next batter he came, struck him out, and finished his game, got the win, his first playoff win since the Nationals 2019 World Series. And as I was saying earlier, he's one of those guys that you just kind of let do his thing.
Mad Max really living up to his name there. And for most starting pitchers right now, they're trying to make it through 6 innings. You want at least 2 rotations through the batting order before they start to learn your tells and your sequences. So you need one good sequence for the first time through the lineup, another good sequence for the second time through the lineup, and that third time through the lineup, they've usually got your number. You rarely see starters making it into the 7th inning for that third time through the lineup. And Mad Max was just trying to make it through 5. And he knew he had it in him, and turns out he did. And the manager wanted to go with the strategy, and Mad Max wasn't having it.
Yeah, and Max was right because the Blue Jays manager has a history of going to his bullpen too early, and it ends up crashing down on him. And fortunately, Max on his own schedule saved the Blue Jays in winning that game. So just some free agent news. The Houston Astros have signed Chicago Cubs reliever. Which one is it? Have signed Chicago Cubs reliever Nate Pearson on a 1-year, $1.35 million deal. Coming off a kind of an unfortunate season for Nate Pearson. From what I looked up on Baseball Reference, he didn't pitch a lot this year. Coming off a pretty solid year last year, though. And he may have been on the Cubs roster when they began the postseason this year, but I'm not sure. But the Astros have drawn him away, and the Astros see something in him that other teams, I guess, did not or weren't willing to take a chance on.
Yeah, a 1-year contract isn't too big of a commitment out of them, but it's nice that after spending most of his time in AAA, he gets another chance at the big leagues after being a first-round pick. So he didn't really get to do much with the Cubs, although last season did look pretty good for him. So we'll see how he fits into the Astros organization.
Yeah, and the Cubs are really taking a bullpen hurt. A bunch of their players are on either player or club options. Some of them may not be coming back. Pearson's gone. There are some pretty solid players in that Cubs bullpen, though, with Daniel Palencia, Brad Keller, and just a bunch of really solid pieces for this Cubs team that has been really good over the past couple years, trying to make it to the postseason. A man that a lot of people know, a man that I guess a lot of people were. I wasn't alive when he was in the big leagues, and I really wish I could have seen him. But Manny Ramirez has announced that he would like to become a hitting coach in the MLB. He 555 home runs in his career 312 hitter, career 996 OPS. Just an absolutely insane career from Manny Ramirez, and he wants to take that art of hitting and his skill of hitting and bring it to an MLB team that could use it.
Yeah, he was Rookie of the Year and became an All-Star in just his second season. The man really knows his hitting stuff. It was usually the on-field antics and personal life that got him in trouble, but his hitting is just legendary.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people who can really beat Manny Ramirez in anything, really. He's became an All-Star in 12 of his 19 seasons in the big leagues. Just looking at his credentials on the screen, 555 home runs, 312 batting average, and a 996 OPS. A bunch of people can't even hit 312 or have a 996 OPS over 3 seasons, much less 19 of them. So he was just a different breed of baseball. Just going out there, doing what he did best, and I was hitting the baseball, and it turned out really well for him.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if he decides to go this route, trying to coach people. I'll be interested to see if there's a noticeable result from his teaching style. I wonder if he can translate his technique into a teachable style to bring into an organization.
Yeah. I mean, I personally would want him to come to the Nationals because they could really use a hitting coach right now because their offense is pretty much non-existent except for a few individual players. But more than likely, I don't think a 12-time All-Star is going to come to a small market team, but who knows? It could happen. Austin Hedges, the Cleveland Guardians backup catcher. Yes, that is correct. He is a backup catcher. But he is just an overall, just really good clubhouse guy for the Guardians. He's just a guy that you want in your clubhouse. He's one of those guys that is not really good offensively. He's solid defensively. He's really good defensively. But he's just one of those clubhouse guys that you really need in your clubhouse. He's a veteran of several years and just a really overall really good guy. And the Cleveland Guardians rave about him, about how good he is in that clubhouse and how much life and energy he brings.
Yeah, you really need a few of those clubhouse leaders, guys, to keep the morale up and energy up. It's not just about your performance on the field. You definitely need to keep the morale up off the field as well. And he's the guy for them, so they're going to bring him back on.
Yeah, and that brings up a really good point, is that every team, it doesn't matter if you're a big market team, a small market team, a 100-win team, or a 40-win team, you need that veteran presence in your clubhouse, because if you just have a team full of rookies and you have a team that don't They don't know what to do. They've never been in this atmosphere before. You're going to need someone in that clubhouse to keep the morale up during the worst times of the season, and you just need a veteran there to help the younger guys to know what to do in those situations.
Someone who's experienced the situations you're getting into, someone who can keep cool under pressure if you make it into postseason, and with the morale again, keeping the morale high through maybe a losing streak or through some sort of inner turmoil. Someone who can lead the team through emotionally and mentally, and help them bring out their best physically.
Yeah, and this free agent class of the offseason of 2025 going into 2026 really brings that veteran presence, because you got Pete Alonso, first baseman for the Mets, Kyle Tucker, outfielder for the Cubs, JT Realmuto, Phillies catcher, Eugenio Suarez, Mariners third baseman, who, by the way, just hit a grand slam last night to help the Mariners take Game 5. But this free agent class really has that veteran presence, and any team who signs them is going to get that veteran presence, and all of these players in this free agent class are overall solid, and some of them star players. So one of the last things we're going to get into today, a Japanese player has decided to make himself available to the MLB, and this one is going to be very interesting. Munetaka Murakami. Got to make sure I'm saying that right. But he is coming off really good seasons in Japan. You might know him from the World Baseball Classic. Just insane raw power. I mean, this guy hit 56 homers in a season in Japan. And he's been over there for 8 seasons, and 5 of those 8 seasons he's had 30 homers or more. One of those being that 56 home run season. And any team who gets this guy, and you can be sure that all 30 teams in the majors are coming after this guy, trying to get him to sign, trying to make their team appealing to him, to get him to join, because he will be a really good bat in addition to whatever team that signs him.
Yeah, the raw talent coming out of the NPB over there in Japan is really making the MLB step up. You got organizations looking to sign players over. You've got players just looking to expand their market. They've been crushing it in the NPB, and they wanted a chance to go at it in the MLB. And this looks like another prospect that we could get over here in the MLB. And I would be excited to see if there's a bit of a shadow from Shohei. If there's another one out there, another slugger on the same team, would be absolutely crazy. But another one on another team to compete in slugging. I mean, this guy's an absolute power hitter, and I know Japan normally plays for a lot of contact, but he is just crushing the ball. So I'd be excited to see him join the MLB for sure.
Yeah. It does seem that a lot of Japanese players coming over find their way to the Dodgers at one point or another. You just think of all the Japanese players that have come through to the MLB: Yu Darvish, Shohei Ohtani, Roki Sasaki, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shota Imanaga. Just a bunch of these. Japan is definitely a farm for baseball talent, because I think it's just part of tradition over there that the Japanese, and for lack of a better word, the Asians, want to be the best at everything. They take disrespect and dishonor very highly. They don't want to do that. So I think that also kind of plays in to how good some of these people are. But yeah, definitely a good addition to whatever team that signs him. And he's already seen a couple MLB pitchers, some of these pitchers that aren't good enough to be in the majors, but they're too good to be in the minors, I guess. And so they sign contracts to play over in Japan. So he's already seen some of these American pitchers. And with that left-handed power bat, I think it'll translate immediately to the majors.
Yeah, not mentioning Ichiro in your list of Japanese greats is a bit of an oversight, but I'll give you a break since he played most of his career before you were born.
Yeah, he completely slipped my mind. I completely forgot about him.
Hero is legendary, and in a sense, to me, he was playing, right when I was growing up. He's the peak, the benchmark. He's what all these players are trying to live up to, and they transfer over from the NPB to the MLB, and that's not. I'm sure that's not true for them, but what a role model, what an icon for them to look up to and to aspire to come over here to the MLB and to really shine and to show their work ethic and their raw talent.
Yeah, it'll certainly be a interesting search and watch to see where Munetaka Murakami signs next. But this offseason, or this postseason, has been really, really going well for some teams, not so well for others. But it's really interesting with the amount of talent showing in this postseason, and a lot of it is coming from trade acquisitions. Like one of them, Eugenio Suarez. We mentioned it earlier, and we're going to show it now. But his go-ahead grand slam in the bottom of the 8th, putting Seattle up for good.
Another 2-2. It's another fastball. It's driven the other way. It's going to turn it. It's a grand slam. Seattle is shaking. The Mariners lead Game 5, 6-2. Second home run of the game for Eugenio Suarez is an opposite field grand slam. Just can't believe they went with a fastball. That pitch selection right there will allow him to have a chance to.
Eugenio Suarez finally made an impact in the postseason, and as I read somewhere, it couldn't have come at a better time.
Exactly true. I know the pressure's really on for these guys, and there's so few postseason games, the stats never look good, but someone who has this clutch ability in them, when they show up big, and bases loaded for Eugenio Suarez is the wrong man for the Blue Jays at the plate, as he showed them. In the second inning, he already homered to center. In the 8th inning, he homers to right. He was all over their pitching lineup, and absolutely devastating in the 5th to go ahead 6-2.
Yeah, and you heard it on the broadcast. Like they said, I can't believe they threw him a fastball. If you throw a fastball anywhere over the heart of the plate, hitters, especially Eugenio Suarez, is going to do something with it. Whether it's home run, grand slam, or something, he's going to do something with it. It may line out right to somebody, but he's going to do something with it, and he definitely got all of it in that one to put the Mariners up 3-2 in the ALCS. And in the other CS, the NLCS, a very disappointing series for the Brewers, who got absolutely shellacked by the Dodgers. Honestly, I think everybody did, but I expected better from the Brewers. But the Brewers pitching, or not the Brewers pitching, the Dodgers pitching was absolutely phenomenal in this series. Blake Snell, Game 1, 8 innings pitched. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, complete game. Tyler Glasnow, I think 6 innings. Shohei Ohtani, absolutely dominant through his innings. This Dodgers pitching staff is one of the best, if not the best, in baseball, and they showed it during this postseason.
Man, it's exciting to see Shohei pitching again. That was one of my favorite aspects of him. Not only is he such an incredible hitter, but he can pitch 100-mile-per-hour fastballs, absolute command and control from the mound. What a stellar player. And to add him to your bullpen, to your starting lineup in the postseason, I would have liked to see more from the Brewers. It was exciting seeing them get so far, but the Dodgers' starting lineup and their bullpen just kept the Brewers' offense pinned down, and there was nothing they could do.
Yeah. And many people are labeling it the best postseason game that Shohei Ohtani has ever played in, with him pitching so as well as he did, as well as hitting 3 homers, one of them almost 470 feet out of Dodger Stadium. So definitely, if not the best, one of the best postseason games for Shohei Ohtani and maybe in Dodgers history. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. Remember to check us out over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the video version on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review. Leave us a comment. You can email us at baseballhqpodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We want to see what you think about the show and any topics that you might bring up. We want to see it, and we want to talk about it. But until next time, we'll see you later. Thank you, Mr. Fenton, for coming on, and we'll see you next time. It's a beautiful day for a ball game.